area.
All right, today is Wednesday, 20th, 2024. It's a day set aside by the World Health Organization for oral health awareness. And of course, the Kenneth Johnson Foundation, they have been going around River State from the different primary schools in the state, to create that awareness. And that's why they are in the studio with us today to talk more about it. Of course, I have two guests with me in the studio. By my right, I have Dr. Devon Doom,
Yes.
who happen to be the head of statistics and planning of Kenneth Johnson Foundations, and he's also a lecturer at the River State University.
Governor lecturer.
Okay, thank you for that corrections. All right, and by my left, I have Mr. Kaman Otonobari, who is a dentist.
Thank you for having
You're
me.
welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, today we are celebrating the oral health awareness. It's a day set aside by the WHO, like I said earlier on, for us to create the awareness. And of course, I have a Kenneth Johnson Foundation here in the studio. The reason why we have them here is because they have been going to different parts of River State, to create that awareness. And of course, from my record, they happen to be the only NGO in River State that went around schools today, and went around the street of River State also went to create that awareness. So let me start with Mr. Devon. Devon, you happen to be the head of statistics and planning of Kenneth Johnson Foundation.
Yes, I am the director of research, statistics, and planning, Kenneth Johnson Foundation.
Plenty of offices.
not really plenty. As
All right. I want to know, of course, from the position that you hold in the Kenneth Johnson Foundation Center. Of course, you are in the right position to tell us the reason why your NGOs have gone around different parts of River State to create this awareness.
Yes, thank you for having me in your studio, Mr. Confidence RT. Yes, 20th of March every year is one of the years set aside for World Health Organizations to use it to mark World Oral Health Day. Mr. Confident, before I will commence the program or talk more about why we are here, there is need for me to first of all make you part of the program.
Yes.
And for you to be part of the program, I think there is need for me to do a formal initiation.
Who am I to
That you are
say?
welcome to the family.
So I can put on the card.
Yes, you are free. And also, this is a brush and a close up is part of the instrument we are using for our advocacy. 20th
Thank you
of
so
March.
very much, Mr. Dr.
Yes.
Devon.
Yes, 20th of March is a day set aside by World Health Organization to do proper education, advocacy, and seek for partnering in collaboration to ensure that awareness about oral health is taken to the grassroots. The grassroots, I mean, is in the hinterland areas.
Okay.
If you observe these days, in those days when we were growing up as a child, in the primary school, there is always a day they say is for teeth inspection. When you come to school, they look at your teeth, they say, did you brush? Did you take chewing stick and all that? And if you did not do it, they'll ensure that you are punished for that day.
Okay.
But you've observed, those things have been neglected in the primary schools. And sometimes the pupils in the primary school, they are not aware of the danger of not taking care of their mouth. And so when they grow up, tomorrow you see that they are having one issue or the other. The issue, I mean, is either dental caries and some of those teeth infections and all that. And sometimes they now refer the blame to their parents, not knowing that the school have a role to play in terms of education and awareness.
Yes.
And so we as a foundation, we feel that for us to actually catch them young, there is need for us to start from the primary school, because the primary school is a kind of a first contact point as the child grow up. So as a foundation, we've been at the forefront of advocacy concerning the need to take care of the mouth. Because when we are talking about the mouth, we are talking about the mouth and its constituents. This its constituents, I mean the teeth, the tongue, and the gums.
Okay.
And so as a foundation, we've gone around the three senatorial district of Rivers State. We've gone to the Calabari axis. We've gone to the Ogonis primary schools in Ogoni. I think last year we were able to cover about 4 schools in Kana, about 3 schools in Gokana. Then in the Calabari axis, we also have some schools we've covered, I think about 3.
Okay.
And also too, in fact, other areas in the Rivers State. And so today, as a day that the World Health Organization have set aside for this unique project, we decided to say, okay, let us, honor this day. And that is why we are in your studio.
All right. I listened to you, and I almost got carried away by your by what you were saying. So, but then having been to schools, in Rivers State, majorly the primary schools, what are those things that you discovered when it comes to oral health awareness?
Well, before I will talk about the primary schools in Rivers State, I will first of all talk about the 2014 Global Oral Health Status Report.
Okay.
I think the Global Health Status Report of 2014 statistically said that about 3.7 billion people across the globe,
world. Okay.
yeah, they are having issues, one issues or the other related to, oral health.
Okay.
And specifically, the report says about 530 million children. When we are talking about children, we are talking about people that falls within the primary educational level.
Okay.
They suffer from, periodontals. And below that, that report specifically says that about 3 million suffers one oral health issues or the other per year. And so you see that the issue of oral health is technically growing to the level of being referred to as pandemic. Yes, I say technically. Technically, I think our dentists will specify on that a little.
Yes, okay.
And so, coming to Rivers State, you see that the thing is predominant because it has been neglected completely. If you go to your primary school, Mr. Kiankati, you discover that the primary school in your community, there is nothing like that.
There's nothing like that.
Yes. So we need to rejuvenate that awareness for people to be aware that, there is need for you to take care of the mouth.
Okay.
Because a happy mouth is a
happy body. All right.
Which is specifically
the theme.
The theme of today's
I was about to ask
Mr.
Kamano that question, but I'll get back to you, Mr. Kamano. But I still have one more question to ask you.
Yes, I'm free.
Before I move to Mr. Kamano, who happen to be a dentist. But then, what are those things that you people have been telling the pulpit? Mostly because I'm sure that you don't just educate the pulpit, you also educate the teachers who happen to be the guardians of those children. So, what are those things that? What are the messages that you guys have been preaching? To the pulpit and then to the teachers.
The message we have been preaching, is not far-fetched. The message is of 3 categories: 1, education, advocacy, and collaboration. When we are talking about education, we are saying that the teachers are in need for you to re-emphasize on the need. And when we talk about advocacy, not just in the school alone, go around to campaign that there is need for the children to also take care of their math. And collaborations, the school is a first point of contact.
Okay.
And so we cannot just go to the street and talk about oral health. There is an institution that we must collaborate with so that the message will go down to the root. And so the school is considered as a major institution to start with because this is the area where the child gets in contact with first outside the church.
All right. Thank you so very much.
So that is the message we have been passing around. That 1, that there is need for them to take care of their teeth. Taking care of their mouth we are talking about is 1, you must brush at least 2 times in a day.
Okay.
After you eat in the morning, you brush, rinse your mouth and all that. Then before you finally go to bed. I think the dentist there, he will tell us more better about that.
Yes, I was about to talk to Mr. Tonobari Kamano. I love the way you smile, brother.
Smiling has been a motto of dental practice.
Okay,
That's
because
why.
if your teeth is not as
Yes,
clean as
that's
you can open your mouth to smile
Yes, that is why the motto of the profession says smile with confidence.
with confidence.
Yes.
Which are the confidence? My own confidence.
It can be your own confidence.
Okay.
When you're sure of yourself that you don't have any dental issues, and you'll be so happy to.
I can see from
To
the way
smile.
from the way you open your mouth while you're talking because you have a healthy teeth.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah.
All right. I'm looking at the statistic given to us by Dr. Dom Debon that 3.5 billion people around the world, they are at dangers of having different, mouth infections and and majority. You also mentioned that
Specifically, according to the World Health Status reports.
Okay, that's about 3 million of those
3.5
victims.
billions.
Okay, are the children. Now, okay, what are those likely infection that children between the ages of maybe 3 to 5, 10 years, are likely to have if they don't take care of their mouth?
Okay, first and foremost, before I respond to your question, I have to thank
Can you get close to the mic so they can have the audio?
I have to thank the CEO of this great foundation for giving me this opportunity to appear live on Ogoni TV to talk about the oral health care, because he have found it necessary to create an awareness to the people that are living in the society, not only the pupils alone, but also the teachers and headmistresses and head teachers. So before I respond to your question, I have to use the opportunity to thank him, Mr. Kenneth Johnson.
He's a good man.
For him to give me this privilege. This is the first Ogoni man that I have seen that paved this opportunity for me to be in his team. This is my first time to be a partaker of this team. I'm so happy.
That's a good one.
So for your questions, based on what the World Health Organization have finally confirmed in the year 2014, statistically, yes, children are prone to it. Why did I say so? Because negligence of their mouths. They don't take proper care of their mouth. For instance, you gave your son or your daughter a toothpaste and toothbrush to brush he or her mouth. In the less than 5 minutes, he will come back and meet you. Daddy, mommy, I'm done. And if you take a proper look at it, he or she is not proper brush his mouth. So that will make them to be prone to dental caries. That is the number one primary.
Okay, so sorry, let me just get it straight for for the purpose of parents and others that are watching this program.
Yeah.
What you're saying is that when you give paste and brush to your children to brush their mouth, you also have to monitor what they're doing.
Yes, monitoring is the primary key of our parents, because a child of 4 or 5 years don't know how to brush his or her mouth. So it is your own obligation as a parent to take a proper monitoring during brushing, so that your child will not be a victim of dental issues.
Okay, okay, let's get straight to the first question I asked, and I'm also sorry that I stopped where you were talking about. I just want to make some, clarification for those that are watching, because this program is not just to inform, it's also to educate, people as well. So it's a multitasking their program. So thank you for the likes of my guests that I have here in the studio today. But I was asking some of those mouth infection and disease, that children are likely to have if they don't take care of your mouth. I was hoping that you can, throw more light on some of those infections and the mouth disease.
Mr. Confident, that's why I'm here, to throw more light on those diseases and the common factors to it. And the common factors that cause those diseases that the children has is based on negligence of the mouth, in which they don't brush their mouth very well. And there's some kind of food that children are eating nowadays, especially refined carbohydrate food like biscuits. And once you take a biscuit, you will see that it will be sticking to your teeth. And it's advisable that after taking the biscuit, if there's no availability of toothbrush and toothpaste, based on a child that's going to school, cannot go to school with he or our toothbrush and toothpaste. So what will you expect the child to do? After consuming those carbohydrate food, what will you do? You have to use water to rinse your mouth vigorously to remove the remnants of those food that have been consumed. So that the bacteria in the mouth, the function of the bacteria in the mouth will be low. Because in the mouth, we have what we call normal fluoride. There's a bacteria, even on your skin, they are there. They are not harmful. But when the harmfulness comes in, it's when they see a foreign body that's not supposed to be there. That is why they started reacting. So that is the reason why many children are prone to that, because of poor oral hygiene.
But, okay, so sorry, like I said, the program is all about educational and informative. So, are there names of some of those bacteria? Are there names of some of those diseases and infections, that the children are likely to contact, or maybe they're likely to, to have, in cost of time because they have refused to take proper care of their mouth?
Yes, there is. The number one name of the disease that is very common in children nowadays is called dental caries.
Okay.
Dental caries simply means what? Tooth decay.
Yeah.
Why does the children are prone to tooth decay? Is because of refined carbohydrate food. You go to the Mr. Beast or any eatery, they say, "Mommy, Daddy, buy me ice cream." After taking the ice cream, they are not taking good care of their mouth. From there, there's an avenue for a bacteria which is called microbial bacteria in the mouth to play its role on that remnant of those consumption products. So that is why they are prone to dental caries. And if you take statistically, children of nowadays are prone to dental caries more than adults. Why? Because of what? Refined carbohydrate food, sugary food. If you take your children, you say, "Mommy, buy me Capiso." If you buy anything that is bitter in taste, they will not accept it.
But this is food that the children must eat, all right? Because you can't keep that away from them. And since they have to eat this food every day, because it's part of the things that make them happy, right?
Yeah.
Now, so what are those steps, to be taken after eating those food? Because they must eat the food, and because they are children, they always want to get what they want. And as a parents, what are those steps to be taken so that the children don't have those infections and bacteria that you talked about?
Yes. That question that you're asking, that is the reason why Kenneth Johnson and Kenneth Johnson Foundation find it necessary to partner with World Health Organization or in collaborations with all World Health Organization for setting aside this very day for us, because there's many parents that they don't know what to do when it comes for oral health care.
Okay.
So Kenneth Johnson Foundation have seen the necessity in it by saying, "Okay, let me have a professional in my team so that when we are going out to educate the pupils on this, the professional can take his professional ideology to share within the pupils and the teachers." So number one step that the parents have to take after those children have consumed it, you can't deprive them from it.
Okay.
Because at their age, they need it. Brain needs sugar.
I say that.
Yes. Anything pertaining to glucose, the brain needs it. So
Okay.
at their age, they need it. They need to take all those things. But you cannot deprive them from it. The first thing that the parents have to do is that you have to monitor them after taking it. If there's not availability, as I said earlier, if there's not availability of toothpaste and toothbrush,
Okay.
based on the area that you find yourselves, get a bottle of water or a sachet of water for them. Ask them to gargle it very well to reduce the remnant of it, so that you handicap the microbial bacteria in the mouth.
From those food.
Yes, because when the microbial in the mouth, microbial bacteria in the mouth, will running about the oral cavity and discover that there's nothing to add on it, their role will not be found. They can't play any role.
Okay, Mr. Kamalo. Okay, one more question that I'm going to ask you now before I go back to Dr. Debon, who is smiling at me right now. So, when you started, you mentioned that the children need to be monitored while they are brushing their mouth.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so what are the proper way? Because there's something they say that some children, they don't know how to brush their mouth.
Yes.
So what are the proper ways for children to brush their mouth, for them to have a healthy mouth?
Okay. And based on what the World Health Organization have dished out this year, 2024, as the theme of the year of Oral Health Day, a happy mouth is a happy body.
Okay.
Why did they say so? Because whatever thing that affects the oral cavity affect the entire system. Because the mouth is the gateway to the body system.
Okay.
That is why they classify it as a happy mouth is a happy body. Because when your mouth is hygienic in nature, your body will also be hygienic as well. So number one way that the parents have to do, as a child of 4 or 5 years, parents have to use their hand and brush their mouths.
Okay. That's number one.
Yes. Because of what? They are with them at home. But you see some parents
from 1 year to 5 years.
Yes. Okay. From 1 year to 5 years. It is the responsibility of the parents to brush their children's teeth based on the attitude of children. And remember that the paste that we are using contain what we call menthol. And by the time that you take that, it's all like you are licking tum-tum. You have that sugary taste. And when children have discovered that there is a menthol in the paste, they will lick it. They will not brush their mouth. They will not brush their mouth. And that's the truth. They will not brush their mouth. So that is why it's an obligation of their parents, which, and moreover, the mothers, because we the fathers will be a father soon. So it's the obligation of the mothers to do that by themselves.
And other guidance.
Yes, and if they have a helpmate, then they can also do at the same. You know. So
okay, so it was supposed to be the last question before I get to Dr. Debom.
Okay.
But then are there some quantities of the paste that should be put on the toothbrush? Because I've seen situations whereby people want to take tango that have this here,
yes.
Yeah, where they want to feel the
length of the
toothbrush.
Yeah.
Yes, is it proper?
Thank you for asking me that question. I have been looking for an avenue like this to create more awareness. Because to me, as a dental health practitioner, I see it as a waste of paste. When you apply your toothpaste on your toothbrush, to get to the length of the toothbrush, it's not ideal.
It's not.
It's wrong. You're wasting it. If you see me when I'm brushing my teeth, I use a little of it. What I want, just to feel it, is not getting, because what we have here, from here to here, is 90 degrees.
Okay.
So if you divide into two, 45 is outside, 45 is inside. Therefore, in dentistry, there's what we call measure and distance in dentistry. So when you apply it, it doesn't matter the quantity of the paste that you apply and use it in your mouth to brush your mouth that will make the effectiveness. No, it is how long and the technicality of blushing.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Kamalu. This is quite educative, and I must thank you for being on the show. I must thank the Joseph Foundation for having you, on their team. So let me go back to Dr. Debom. All right, Debom. Like I said, because of the position that you hold, at the Kenneth Joseph Foundations, you're the right person to to talk about most of this. Things that we are discussing here on this program. But then I haven't been to several schools in Rivers State. So apart from talking to the students, the pupils, apart from talking to the teachers, what are other things that you guys do?
Yes, apart from educating the pupils on the best way to take care of their mouths, we also ensure that we give them toothbrush and a paste. Not just that, he has talked about the technicalities. We, at the kindergarten level, the best way you can pass a message is to sing song.
Yes.
Okay.
So we say children, and we say how do you say? You say up, down, up, down. Now what we are trying to say is that you take it up and take it down for you to remove those debris. And another thing also, we also tell them that the tongue, I'm not a dental practitioner, but from being with my colleague here, you also tell them that there is need for them to brush their tongue.
Okay.
Which is
very
an integral part of the mouth.
Okay.
And so that is part of what we do. So that's to say that we are not just educating, we are also going as far as practicalizing and also distributing this.
All right. Okay. Thank you so very much. I'll get back to you and Dr. Debom.
Before you move,
I'm working with my producers. So let's take a commercial break from Kenneth Joseph Foundations, and then we are back.
Okay.
And we will discuss some of the causes of a mouth odor and others. So let's take this commercial from Kenneth Joseph Foundations. We'll be right back. My name is Confidence Gangati. Don't go anywhere.
This one. Don't worry, we will send somebody that will come and take care of you. Which school? Yahoo school. Go. What we will do, we will create chance to go and flush. To come and wash their teeth.
They are staying. This one is calculus.
A non-governmental organization, Kenneth Johnson Foundation, has taken its oral health awareness campaigns to Community Primary School 1, Nweo, in Gokana Local Government Area, and Community Primary School, Kere Kenboy, in Community Junior Secondary School, Duburo, in Kana Local Government Area. Some of the students who spoke to our correspondent thanked the foundation for educating them on the importance of maintaining good oral hygiene.
I learned about how to keep my teeth clean and how to make a good oral health and hygienic health. They gave me a toothbrush and an Oral-B cloth.
They learned about that you should brush your teeth in the morning and in the night after eating. I want to take this foundation. Thank you.
From today, I will continue to brush my teeth in the morning and in the night.
On his part, the headmaster of Community Primary School 1, Will Vopnu Lucky, while commending Kenneth Johnson Foundation, said the awareness campaign will prevent future dental issues among school children.
I thank the Kenneth Johnson Foundation for what they have done to our pupils. It's very good. It's very, very good because we have been doing for something like this. From time to time, people have been coming to promise us they will do this, they will do that, but they are not. But today, I've seen another thing. They came directly and do what they intend to do.
Meanwhile, the administrative officer of Kenneth Johnson Foundation, Nuka Akikwe, said the foundation embarked on the awareness campaign to improve oral health among school children in River State.
The foundation thought it wise to provide oral health campaign and outreach, teaching our pupils, some students in the secondary school how to take care of their mouth and then their teeth. We started this in Tai, and today we covered 2 schools in Gokana and then 2 schools in Kana. Yes, I think we also went out with qualified personnel who are certified health workers.
The first thing you do in the morning is to clean your mouth with water. You clean your mouth with what? Water. Then after eating, the next thing you do is to brush your teeth. The next thing you do is to do what? Brush your teeth. And you will have what Ada told us. Ada told us that the need for you to brush your teeth after eating is to remove debris, dirties that comes from the food and to refresh your mouth.
All right, so I still have Dr. Debom here and Mr. Kamando Tonobare with me here. And before we went on the break here, you were talking about what you guys have done. Of course, I have seen what people have done before. You have distributed toothpaste and brush to primary schools across the state. But there is this very question that it's very important to me that I've been begging to ask before right from when this program started. Now looking at what you guys have done, people will think that that you can have so many collaboration, maybe partners. So are there any other NGOs apart from the WHO that you guys are partnering with?
Well, for now, as the head of research, statistics and planning, I can boldly tell you that the NGO is one of the things the setback we are facing as at today. Because to cover the 23 local government of River State, it requires partnering. Because it requires partnering. And even right here, as I am in the studio, I can tell you that I'm a volunteer in the NGO because I feel that this is a burden that need to be corrected. And so, one of the setbacks the NGO is facing is lack of partnership. People are not coming to partner with the organizations. And so, we are using this medium to appeal to our politicians, businessmen, industrialists, and other corporate organizations to partner with Kenneth Johnson Foundation, because this foundation are actually been at the forefront to talk about this issue, because the issue of oral health is one of the cardinal issues that has been neglected. Because when we talk about HIV and other things, a lot of NGOs are into it, but oral health is one area that you hardly see NGO emphasize on. And based on the threatening reports of the oral health, World Health Organizations on oral health status, there is need for us to do something to avoid the danger ahead.
Okay, let me take that to be one of the challenges that you guys are facing.
Yes.
So
partnership. We need partnership.
Okay, so
yes, we need institutions and corporate organizations to collaborate with us.
You guys. Okay,
so that in a way we can, because it's not about the children living in the cities. What about those our brothers, our children that are in the rural areas? They are not aware of something like this, and sometimes they are still using charcoal to brush their teeth. They are still using twin stick and all that sort of means that are not recommended. There is need for us to take this information
down to the
rural areas. Create that awareness, that advocacy, orientation, and health literacy. Because what we are doing today is about health literacy.
Yeah.
Health literacy.
So what areas are you guys looking for partnership? Like in terms of what there should be some thing that you guys are looking for. There should be some thing that you guys are lacking that you, of course, because it's more like you are a volunteer, and it's more like everything was being sponsored by those few members of the foundations.
Yes, of course.
So what areas are you guys looking for partnerships?
We are looking for partnerships in the area of the equipments, because one, apart from educating the pupils, there is also need for us to need a mobile clinic. When we see, like today, while we are in a primary school in Kana local government, now we notice that there are children that are having issues that may give them concern tomorrow.
Okay, I think there's a picture of that. Can you
yes.
put that on the screen?
Yes.
Let's have it. No,
so
there's another one where, okay, can you put that on the screen, please?
Assuming we have that mobile clinic with the help of our dentist that is here, I think that issue would have been treated instantly. So we need partnering in the area of getting equipment, and also to close up and the brush. We also need partners. People should come in, volunteer to buy, so that we can also to Kenneth Johnson Foundation as a foundation that is gradually, gradually passing this message across every nook and cranny of the state. There is also need for people to volunteer with their vehicles to take us to some communities, that because this issue of oral health is not just in the urban cities, or like Port Harcourt, Obiako, it predominantly, yes, and it's actually an issue of concern. So we need partners in terms of corporate organizations to buy into this idea, to ensure that not just corporate individuals, lovers of good things, well-wishers, to support Kenneth Johnson Foundation to ensure that this message is
this question that just came to my mind, and I think I should ask that, because people just okay, let me put it this way. Has there been a situation whereby you saw a pupil, maybe a student where the teeth is so bad that need their operations? Or maybe has there been cases where you guys have taken any of the students for operations?
Yes, like I told you that I'm the head of statistics, head of statistics research and planning. Yes, we have several cases in our database that requires urgent attentions. Like today, the schools we visited, because we visited about 2 schools, one in Gokana local government and in Kana local government. There is one peculiar case we met at in Kana that need an urgent attention. These are cases that, assuming we have a mobile clinic, we can say our dentist should do what we call scaling and polishing to avert the issue of concern tomorrow. And so these are areas that we really need attention, which I am using this medium to appeal to corporate organizations, not just around Ogoni areas, in Rivers State in general, and Rivers State government, to be able to know that the issue of oral health is neglected in the states, especially in the rural areas. Villages in Orashi and the rest of
looking more like that most of the people that are affected are those of the indigents.
Of course, the downtroddens,
So that's
the less
why
privileged.
that's why there is need for more collaborations and partnership from the other NGOs.
Yes. Not just government, other NGOs, corporate organizations. Like today, we deem it necessary to say, okay, since today have been set aside by World Health Organizations to mark Oral Health Day, that there is need, even when the World Health Organizations is not aware that there is need for us to spread the message across. It's a thing of joy, and we expected the River State government to key in projects like this.
Yes.
Key into projects like this.
And other NGOs.
And other NGOs, corporate organizations, and even individuals. Just like as you are now, Mr. Confidence. It won't take you anything if you can volunteer to give us about 5 cartons of close-up or two brush.
Because we will see to that. Ogoniti, we will see to that.
Thank you so much.
All right, Mr. Tono Barikamano, there's something that Dr. Debom said about using twin stick and charcoal, because I remember that growing up, this is what our forefathers were using, and also salt. Now, are there dangers, in using twin stick, in using the charcoal and salt, to brush the mouth?
Yeah. First of all, there's a danger in this handout. Whatever thing that has an advantage definitely must have disadvantage. In this handout, when you are using your twin stick to clean your teeth, there's what we call interdental proximal, a space between the teeth and the gum. That's what we call interdental proximal.
Okay. On
the process of using your chewing stick, it will not get to that region, and the posterior part of the mouth, it cannot get to it. The posterior part of the mouth that I mean is at the back. There's some certain teeth at the back that your chewing stick cannot get in. That is why if you take a look at the head of toothbrush, that's why I just analyze for you that the length of the head of the toothbrush is 90 degrees. So if you are brushing like this at the front, 45 degrees is inside, 45 degrees outside. So the posterior part of the teeth, the chewing stick cannot get in there and remove any debris. So that is the disadvantage of using chewing stick in the village. And that is why World Health Organization and this great foundation, Kenneth Johnson Foundation, deem it necessary to spread these informations to the people in the village, our mother, our fathers, and our children and younger ones as well.
So what you're saying is that the use of twin stick, charcoal, and salt should be discouraged.
Yes. Number one, salt is not ideal. Why? Because of the corrosiveness of the salt. Have you put a raw salt in your mouth?
When you use corrosiveness,
okay, let me break it down. Let me break it down.
Thank you.
Let me break it down. The corrosiveness of the salt I'm talking about is that it's just like when you pour a raw acid on your body, you will see that it will peel your skin. That is what happened to when you're using salt to clean your teeth. You will see that your cheek will be peeled.
Some damages.
Yes, sometimes you will have what we call the ulcer of the mouth because of the hotness of it. You understand? So it's not ideal. And sometimes it goes straight to the heart. And you know that salt is not good to the heart. It causes what we call cardiac arrest. You get my point. So that is it. So excess of salt is not good. And those in the village, when they are using a salt to brush their teeth, they don't know the quantity of the salt to use. For example, in the clinic, when we did an extraction for a patient, what do? We ask the patient to use a teaspoon, not tablespoon, to take a heap of common salt and use one of you or her finger to level it. The salt that left inside the spoon, put inside a cup of what? Warm water, not half cup, a full cup of it. So that just let it have a salty taste, not so excess of it, because we know the danger of it. So that's why we advise our patient on that. So using salt to brush the teeth is not ideal. It's wrong.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Kamano, for this educative information that you share with us. But then this is one of the issues that we are having right now. People with smelling mouth. Sometimes people can even talk, to you because their mouth the odor from their mouth is so bad. And like I said, this program is supposed to be educative and also informative. So what are the causes of mouth odor?
Yes, thank you for asking this question. When we are talking about halitosis, which is simply means mouth odor, we have
that is the name.
Yeah, that's the program we call it halitosis. So on that note, we have different factors that are contributing to the halitosis. There are a lot of people that are having anxiety nowadays. Number one factors is the type of diet that we eat. For example, there's some people that have serious passion in taking raw onions.
Okay.
There's some people that have passion in taking ginger and garlic.
Yeah.
So for a long period of time, for instance, there is some bacteria that will come and act on it. From them, you started having that offensive odor. Then the second one is poor oral hygiene.
Okay.
In the sense that statistically, over 78% of people that are living in society brush once in a day. And they find it difficult to see a dentist.
Okay.
Because of the information that be speculating in the society that once you step into a dental clinic, that the next thing that you see, a dentist will come out with a scissor and hammer to scissor your teeth out of the socket. Such scenario is wrong and it's fake. I'm telling you as a professional, it's fake. Extraction is the last option in dentistry, according to Clue, after a proper diagnosis has been taken. So now, what is the cause of halitosis? Number one, poor oral hygiene, the type of diet that we take, accommodation of calculus. That's what we call calculus.
Can you explain that?
Yes, calculus is a kind of thing that is a cement form. Is a plaque that moves from that plaque nature to calculus. In the other way around, we call it tata. T-A-R-O-T-A-R-O. Tata. You can
like
T-A-R-O-T-A-R-O. We call it tata.
Okay.
You understand? So once it stays long in the mouth, it has a side effect to the gum, which you call gingival reception. Have you seen someone when he's brushing is bleeding?
Yeah, I have seen that before.
Yes, it's an indication of infection. That to show that the gingiva, that's the name of the gum. The gingiva have been infected by the accommodation of those plaques. And that's why Kenneth Johnson Foundation find it necessary to feature me into these days.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that.
Yes, he find it necessary to feature me into these days.
Because you know, we are serving the public, and
yes.
And so, I also want to thank Kenneth Johnson Foundation for bringing you into this thing, because you're vast.
Yes, so
that's
vast.
And I like that. So my question is, what are the preventive methods or measures?
Okay.
I mean, are there cure to some of these bacteria and infections?
Like what I said earlier. We have two.
And then what? Okay, yeah, okay.
We have two types of halitosis. We have the systemic.
Mouth odor.
Yes, the mouth odor.
Okay, I use the word.
Okay, the mouth odor. We have two types of mouth odor. We have two types of mouth odor. Number one, the first one we call it local halitosis and the systemic halitosis.
Okay.
What did I mean by systemic halitosis? Those that have some other chronic ailment. Like someone that having a lung issue that is coughing, when you have a long period of cough, you will see that the lungs will produce an offensive odor. You understand? Then there's some people that can stay for like 2 to 3 days. They can't go to toilet. They have what we call constipation. And once you stay for like 2 to 3 days, the intestinal gas that's coming from through the esophagus and get to the oral cavity will be more offensive. So that one is a kind of systemic. And those that have some other sugar issues, they can also have what we call halitosis. Those ones are systemic. Then the local one that I'm talking about is the diet that we eat. Based on what I said earlier, there are some people that have serious passion in chewing raw onions. There's some people that neglect their mouth. So negligence of the oral cavity also causes what? Halitosis.
So how do we prevent all this?
Yes. The major preventive measure of it is that we have to take a good care of our mouth by brushing twice a day. The last thing that you have to do before you go to bed, you have to brush. After brushing, after your meal, after your dinner, before you go to bed, you have to brush. After brushing, you have to sleep. When you wake up the following morning, use water to rinse your mouth. After rinsing your mouth, you take your breakfast.
Okay. Can you take that again? Like when you wake up in the morning,
yes.
After eating or before eating or before brushing your mouth.
Let me repeat myself once again.
Okay.
You have to brush twice a day, morning and night. The night one is that after your dinner.
Eating, okay.
Sorry, yes, after your
dinner. That should be the last thing you do at night.
Yes, that should be the last thing that you do at night. Then the following morning, as soon as you wake up, there's no need for you to brush your mouth, because as of then your mouth is fresh because you brushed before going to bed. Okay. So what will you do? Take a cup of water and rinse your mouth. After rinsing your mouth, you can take your breakfast.
Well, sorry, because let me. I've been with people. I'll get to Dr. Debom anyway, but I want to ask you these questions. There are people that wake up with smelling mouths. Like they can't even stay for seconds when they wake up in the morning. You know, their mouths, you know, begin to have odor. Now, does it mean that they have infection? Does it mean that they have a mouth bacteria, or it is just their nature?
Normally, it's a kind of general scenario that once you wake up in the morning, you must have that offensive breath, in the sense that at rest, some other component in the mouth like tongue, salivary gland, are not play their role.
Okay.
So everything is at rest. You know, as I'm in your studio right away talking, I'm salivating because of the salivary gland is stimulating by the speech.
So it normal.
It's normal, but there's some that is not normal.
Which one is?
The one that often beside the morning own. Maybe as it stands now, as you're talking to me, sometime for how many hours or how many minutes that we have been together in this studio, I have not perceiving anything like that. But there's some people that they have it because of the accommodations of those calculus.
Yeah, I want to ask you this one too, because you know, there are people that within the day, like if they stay for a longer time, maybe like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour without talking, and then they begin to have this mouth odor.
Yes, because they have what we call a dry mouth.
A dry mouth.
Yeah, just like what I said. That when you're not talking.
Is that something to be scared of?
That's why we encourage them that if you don't have time to interact with people, you can go and get a chewing gum that is sugar free.
Or eat advisable.
Yes, that is sugar free, and be chewing to exercise your TMJ, which is the temporomandibular joint, and also to stimulate the salivary gland to produce saliva. You know, when you are chewing, you are salivating as well because it's stimulant. You understand? But you have to go and get a chewing gum that is sugar free, like Orbit. For those that don't like to,
the one that are sugar
free.
Now, because I know why I'm asking these questions, right? Because most of all, we don't know the one that is sugar free. Alright, but you just mentioned one now. But, let's assume that you're taking the one that has sugar in it. Are there also dangers attached to it?
There is danger in the one that has excess of sugar.
Excess of sugar.
Yes, because in the mouth we have what called lactobacillus.
What does that mean?
There's a bacteria that is in the mouth that act on anything that contains sugar. Like that's what we say in digestion process. The first place that digestion take place, it took place in the mouth. Whatever diet that you're taking, because you have to do what? Masticating it. After the mastigation, it gets through the esophagus before it gets to the intestines. But there's some enzyme that acted right in the intestine, which is called enzyme pepsin, that act on protein. If you take any proteinous food, the digestion process of that proteinous food take place in the intestines. You understand? So now, based on what you say is that there is digestion that take place in the mouth. So those enzymes will act on those things. So when you take those sugary stuff, the necessity for you to do right away is that you have to get a bottle of water or a sachet of water, as I said earlier. After taking it for a minute or a while, what will you do? You have to use water to rinse your mouth. Rinsing your mouth is reducing the sugar content that left behind the teeth, so that it will handicap the microbial bacteria in the mouth called normal fluoride. So that is it.
This is quite educative, and I must thank you once again, Mr. Kamanu Tonobare. But let me get to Dr. Dum Debon, because we are almost out of time. So let's have a little talk about Kenneth Johnson Foundations again. And okay, let's assume that we want to know one or two things about Kenneth Johnson Foundations. Are there website, are there social media handles that we can go to get more information about Kenneth Johnson?
Yes. Thank you so much. You know, Kenneth Johnson Foundation is one of the foundations in Rivers State, one among the foundations in Rivers State that have actually done a lot.
Okay.
You know, in terms of empowering the youths. Paying of school fees, bursary, and also trying to give hope to the hopeless. You know why I can boldly say that? Because if you look at our database and our website, the Kenneth Johnson Foundation website, you see a lot of activities that Kenneth Johnson Foundation have been carrying. Yes.
Okay.
In this is 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that is 2024. I think in 2023, we pay school fees of almost about 100 and some students.
Okay.
Cutting across all the tertiary institutions in Rivers State.
In the state.
Yes. And if you look at that very year, it's one of the years that there was a policy in the state that they say no school fees, no exam.
Okay.
We partner with a lot of NGOs like this Calabari man in Dumolulu Bricks Foundation.
Okay.
Yes. We also, and the Lacey Mao and all that, to ensure that the school fees drive did not actually affect most of the indigents in the society. Also too, the Kenneth Johnson Foundation have provided skills. As at 2003, I think we engaged about 2,346 indigents on CTV camera installations and security gadgets.
And
yes, these skills acquisitions were done free, no charges. Not just that alone, the foundations also, engage the ladies that were interested in fashion and design. Yes, to also embark on skills like that also. Also, it comes to the area of oral health, like I rightly said, we've also gone around some local governments in Rivers State. But like I did said, the foundation, the CEO himself, took it upon himself, even when he's not an ardent politician, took it upon himself that there is need for us to give back to society through kindness.
Okay.
So there is need for us to support him. There is need for corporate organization, the government, to support him to ensure that the message is, driven down to the society. Like as of today, I think Kenneth Johnson Foundation is one of the foundations that talk about oral health
in the States.
In the States.
Okay. All right. You
so that's to tell you how deeply, how passionate we are.
You did mention
to see how we can touch lives.
You did mention about a website.
Yes.
I was thinking.
Yes, we have a website, and our website is Kenneth Johnson Foundations. That is www.kennethjohnsonfoundation.org. We have a Facebook handle. Also, you go on our Facebook. I think today we are on our Facebook Live in partnership with the Ogoni TV.
Okay.
You can also watch and also look at our activities. I think we also have a Twitter handle.
Okay.
Where you can also access informations, about Kenneth Johnson Foundation. And lastly, I think last year the foundation also partnered with a foreign organization to build a market at a community in Ogoni, in Wiakara, to be very specific.
Okay.
So the foundation has been involved in a lot of activities. And we are ready to do more.
And they need more support.
Yes, we are ready to do more. Like I did mention that I am the head of research statistics and planning. We have been doing exploit because there are key areas that have been neglected. And those areas we need to take it up to ensure that there is a positive impact. The society actually feel the impact of having an organizations like Kenneth Johnson Foundation.
All right, Dr. Devon, of course you've been talking more about the Kenneth Johnson Foundations. Why my brother here, Mr. Kamano Tonobari, you talk a bit more about the teeth. And so because of time, let me get your last word from you about your general view and what you think about the methods and measures to take care of the mouth. I mean, that would be your last word from you.
Okay. First and foremost, I have to thank the CEO of Kenneth Johnson Foundation for carrying out this process on these days. Because it is not an easy task, in the sense that a single man will voluntarily come out and put things in order to make a provisions of this paste and toothbrush to the pupils cut across the 3 schools that we carry out our exercise to. And I have to thank him and I'm so happy to collaborate with him. I say may God bless him. And the second one is that I'm using this opportunity to call the attentions of the state government, the local government, cut across the 23 LGAs in Rivers State to partnership with him, so that the less privileged in the various communities, the interior communities that don't have access to dental health care, can also have an access to it. Because like what we saw today when we go out for this outreach, it was very, very embarrassing. I have to be honest with you.
All right, thank you.
So the state government and the LGA chairman have to work in team with him, so that other people can also be a beneficiary of this program as well.
Thank you, Mr. Kamalu. Yeah. Let me have the last one from Dr. Debo.
Yes, like I did said, that when we are talking about oral health, is basically of three components: education, advocacy, and partnership. Yeah. Now, what we are doing today is education, and part of what we have also done is advocacy. What is left behind, which we are calling on corporate organizations, individuals, churches across the state and the world, is for them to collaborate with Kenneth Johnson Foundation to ensure that this message goes down to the grassroots, to the less privileged. Not just oral health alone, but some other areas that Kenneth Johnson have been involved in. Before I will round up the program, I will also draw your attention to the very major pothole along Rumola axis. I think the foundation also took it upon himself to ensure that that place was handled. So that's to tell you how the foundation have been actually impactful. And so my last word for Rivers people, Nigerian, and the world at large is to see that we come to the aid of the organization to ensure that this message goes down to the grassroots.
All right, thank you so very much, Dr. Debon Doom. Thank you for your time. It has been a very educative program.
It's a privilege.
Yeah, thank you.
We are still planning to do more.
To do more.
Because this is our state.
All right. Okay. Let me also thank the dentist here with us, Mr. Tonobai Kamalu.
Yeah.
Thank you for being part of this program.
Thank you very much.
All right, my name is Confidence Kiakati, and this is how much you can take on this program on Ogoni TV. Of course, Ogoni TV is a place where you see everything that has to do with Ogoni and the Niger Delta. We talk about everything that happened in Rivers State and the Ogoni people. You can follow us on Facebook, and for you to get more information about Ogoni and the Niger Delta. So this is how much you can take now. So I say bye, and join us again next time. My name is Confidence Kiakati once again. Bye for now.
Thank you.
It was a good one.